Hello there, I'm Dr. Nazanin Moali, a licensed clinical psychologist and host of Sexology Podcast. On our video today, we're going to talk about the top 10 effects of being in a sexless relationship on a man. Sexless relationship can impact people of all genders, but we got this question from our long-term listeners that they wanted this video. So we decided to do a full video talking about the impact of sexless relationship on men. Perhaps you're wondering, what is a sexless relationship? Sexless relationship is when a couple have sex less than 10 times per calendar year. Unfortunately, it is more common than most people know. Recent statistics show that about 19% of couples in America are in a sexless relationships. The people we're talking about in this video, we're not talking about situational sexless relationship. Sometimes our spouse, they have health issues. Sometimes we're going through things that for a short period of time, sex is not a priority for us. If it's been communicated with your partner, there is nothing wrong with that. There are people that sex is not part of their relationship. That is something that's been communicated from the first day. They identify as asexual, and for them, a relationship and sex, they're not together. But for most people, they start from this place of passion. They start with wanting to have sex with their partner all the time, and then slowly the frequency of sex becomes less and less. And then after perhaps few years, these people find themselves in a sexless relationship, which is such a tragedy in a way, because sex is important part of a healthy relationship, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to have sex with your spouse. So we're going to talk about top 10 pattern that I see among my clients that I have worked with throughout the years. I supported more than thousands of men in sexless relationship, and I'm going to share with you some of the common patterns that I've seen. Number one challenge that I see for men that are in a sexless relationship is this resentment toward their partner. It's not even about the sex anymore. It's not about, I want to have sex. They feel that their partner is withholding sex from them. They feel that their partner, they know how much they crave intimacy, and they're doing this on purpose because they don't care about them. Number two is feeling trapped. I work with so many men. They love their family. They love the life they created with their spouse, and they don't want to go out of the relationship, but they feel trapped because they didn't get married to be celibate. But now they found that their spouse, they don't want to have sex with them, and they have no option than to either remain in the marriage and be miserable, or leave the marriage and make a decision that perhaps will impact the whole family financially, emotionally, and psychologically. Third challenge that I see is this low self-esteem. When our spouse or partner, they refuse us, they feel we're not worthy of love, they feel undesirable, they feel that perhaps something is wrong with me, that my partner no longer wants to have sex with me. Sometimes we discover that perhaps our partner engaged in solo experiences, they just don't want to have sex with us. And that can lead to us feeling not good about ourselves. And when our self-esteem drops, it impacts the quality of relationship we have at work. It impacts our other relationship, and it can even lead to financial loss. It's a very interesting study that showed that people who have more frequent satisfying sexual experiences, they earn more. Fourth challenge is this kind of living in this high stress environment. Couples that they are in this sexual avoidance cycle of one partner initiating and the other partner refuse having sex are kind of living in this environment that can be at times toxic, because people go out of their way to kind of avoid their partner, and it can impact the quality of connection the couples they have together. Also, number 5 is being in a touch-starved relationship as a result of this sexual avoidance. Sometimes we're just tired of being rejected, or perhaps we want to be with our partner, but we don't want them be kind of physically with our partner, not have sex. We're craving touch, but the couples tend to both be avoiding physical touch because they don't want the other person get this idea that they want to have sex. So they tend to avoid any kind of physical touch that, again, in turn can help lead to someone experiencing health issues. When we are not feeling satisfied in our relationship, it can lead to all sorts of mental health challenges, including depression. It can lead to physical health issues. We know that regular ejaculation for men prevent prostate cancer. And again, being in a satisfying relationship can be good for our psychological well-being. Another common challenge for people is that they drift apart. One of the complaints at times I get from some of my clients is that my partner is always working. They're at work 24/7. And when we talk about these kind of like desire to work more with their spouse, with their partner, we realize that they're consciously or unconsciously, they are dedicating their life to work because they want to suppress their sexuality, because they don't know what to do with their desire. Their partner, they don't want to have sex with them, and they just don't want to deal with it emotionally. And something to keep in mind that for many men, physical touch is how they express their love. Sometimes I hear from my female clients that they say that I want to emotionally connect with my partner, so I would be sexually open. But many of my clients, male clients, they need to have that physical connection because that's a way that they express love. Another challenge that's unfortunately very common is that when you refuse having sex with your partner, when the relationship is sexless, it opens up the door for affair. I'm not saying having an affair is okay. I'm not saying that it's justified, but I've seen it over and over in my practice that people telling me that I forgot about that part of me. So when the other person, the other woman showed up how much they care about me, how much they desire me, I couldn't resist it because I forgot how great it was to be wanted. And it can lead to separation of couples. It can lead to all sorts of emotional pain for everyone involved. Another common challenge is that I get a call from female partner and they say that my partner has a porn addiction. I discovered that they're watching porn all the time on their computer, and please fix them. But when we talk about kind of like the pattern in the relationship, we discovered that these individuals, they don't have sex. Sex is not part of the relationship. So of course their partner finds alternative way of exploring their sexuality and fulfilling their sexual need, and porn could be one of that. So if you don't want your partner to consume porn compulsively, then having a healthy sexual plan can help the relationship to be on track. Another challenge is the divorce and separation. You get shocked at how many people I see in my practice. Because they're coming to me, they feel defeated, but they are planning their exit strategy. They're thinking about when would be a good time for me to leave this marriage so I can minimize the harm on my children. I can minimize the financial complication of a divorce. And they don't talk about this with their partner because they're just so focused on exiting this relationship. So it's important to know that having sex is a healthy part of a relationship. And if it hasn't been communicated with your partner that for any reason that you're taking a pause, it can lead to an unbalanced, unhealthy relationship. If you're finding yourself in that dynamic, I have a good solution for you. A few years ago, a colleague of mine and myself, we recorded this half an hour podcast episode, and we talk about step by step what you need to do with your spouse to end this sexless cycle. So if you are interested, make sure you're listening to this episode. You can listen to it alone, or you can listen to it with your partner. Put in the comment what you think about it, and I hope that you will find sexual connection that you deserve. And thank you so much for watching our video.